Good morning, students. I'm just going to show you a quick tutorial on how to do your flight or float photography using Pixlr. So first you need to open up your two images that you've taken in Pixlr Express or Pixlr E. So here's my image of my model floating on the stool, and here is my image of the blank background. So first what I'm going to do is bring the blank background into my original image of the floating. So on the bottom of the layers panel here, I'm going to click the plus icon and choose image. From my selection, I'm going to click there, and it's brought it on top. So I'm going to unlock the background here, which is the image of the model, and bring it on top of the image of the background. Now I need to check that my images are properly aligned. So on the three dots to the left of the background layer, which is actually my sister layer, I'm going to click there and lower my transparency. So I'm going to lower it enough that I can still see it. And now I'm going to be able to move my sister in line with the trees. If you zoom in, you'll have an easier time of it. So I'm going to zoom into this tree here, a nice one in the foreground, and then I'm going to try moving until it's aligned as closely as possible. I did not have a proper working tripod with me when I took this shot, so just proof that you can do it no matter the circumstance. Ooh, there we go. I see, yeah, aligned there with that tree. Okay, and enter to accept. Bring my transparency back up to 100 on the layer of my sister. And now I'm going to cut out the stool from beneath her. So I'm going to click the scissors on the toolbar and zoom in so I can see it closely. So I'm going to select the scissors, and I can try the magic cutout, or I can try a thing I noticed the other day called AI Auto. So let's see. Oh, cutout is a premium tool. Never mind. Too bad. Okay, so let's go back and let's try this with the magic cutout. So shape cutout is a little too defined. So this stool that I had, it's doing an okay job of cutting out the whites of the stool. You'll notice that the shadow on the ground beneath my sister is quite different, and that's okay. We're going to fix that later. Okay, so the magic brush isn't doing as great a job. So let's try with the paintbrush. Okay, and the different values from the shadow beneath my sister are going to become pretty apparent because obviously there's nothing to create a shadow in my blank background shot. Now the other option that you could try if this masking isn't working for you is to actually select your model and copy them into a blank layer. That might be a little bit too small. Now I'll probably speed this part up because now we all know how to mask out in Pixlr from our tutorial last week, so I'll probably speed this section up. Okay, so you can obviously see the background is not perfect. There is a overlap right here that I'm not too happy about, but we're gonna roll with it because that was the shot I took. So as I'm seeing some of the imperfections here, this is one of the things where if we were in Photoshop, I would have a lot of other ideas for how to fix this, but not being able to see your mask thumbnail or inverse has its limitations. So we're going to go with this, even though this is a little bit apparent, and I'm going to add a layer between my background and my model layer. It's going to be an empty layer, and I'm going to position this directly underneath the model. So this is going to be my layer for my shadow. So in my shadow layer, I am going to select with the eyedropper tool a color from the background. I'm going to select one of the darkest values, and then within my background layer, or my empty layer, sorry, I'm going to take my paintbrush, I'm going to choose 100% opacity, and I'm going to choose a very soft edge for the brush. I'm going to make the size a little bit bigger so I can paint this in quickly and you can see. So I'm going to paint beneath my sister with this color, and you can see some of the areas aren't showing up, and that's because of the mask. So I'm going to bring this layer on top of the background with my sister in just a second and show you how to do the blend mode. So I'm going to take it up here, drag it on top, and it looks pretty fake obviously right now, but we're going to choose a blending mode and we're going to lower our opacity to make that just a little bit more realistic. So first I'm going to take the 3 dots and blend mode, I'm going to choose multiply. Now normally this works great in Photoshop. Let's try overlay. Nope. Lighten, definitely not. Okay. Screen, no. Oh, wow. So these blending modes are working quite different than they would in Photoshop. Very different. We're going to try multiply again. We're going to try lowering our opacity or our transparency in here quite down. Yeah. And I don't want it to be too intense. Remembering what the sun was like on that day. And we will settle for that. Okay, so this is the first step in editing your flight or float photography. I hope you understood everything that was in this tutorial, and if you have any questions, please send me an email and I will make a further video explaining what you're confused about. We'll also do a video for next week for adding atmosphere to your flight or float photography and some color grading.